Nam mô Sakyamuni Buddha.
Kính thưa quý thầy, quý sư cô, cùng toàn thể quý bà đồng tham và thiên đường đại chúng.
Dear Sangha and all practitioners and Dharma
Chiều
friends,
nay buổi trưa và hàng ngày chúng ta cùng chia sẻ kinh nghiệm tu tập.
it is our daily Dharma session.
Đối với công phu tham thiền thì tất cả người hành giả chúng ta luôn luôn chú trọng cho thực hành.
So for the Patriot Zen method, all practitioners should prioritize the practice, and valuable thing for the practice is the doubt. It doesn't mean we attach to the doubt. The doubt here means we put down, move away from the object, stop all discrimination. All these explanations are just language, and we need to experience it through the practice. We should not think if we meditate, we can no longer feel pain, feel aging, feel sick. We only end all of the sickness, aging, and pain once we get awakened and end all the five scandals. Attachment. It doesn't mean we look for another body outside of this body or gain anything beyond what we already have. So don't mistake, don't fall into the mistaken understanding. Our practice is ending attachment, and opposite to that is getting attached. We for countless lives have a lot of attachment, discrimination that plunge us further into illusion, and we didn't know that those are dreams, those are creations of the deluded mind, and we let ourselves be controlled by the dream, and all suffering come from there. So our practice is to return to our original nature. Our original nature has always been pure, but we forget our original nature and lose ourselves through all of those delusions. The practice is to return to who we originally are. We not gain anything or remove anything. Because of our deluded mind, we also attach to the teachings of the Buddha and Patriarch. We turn into attachment to the Dharma. We complain that we practice a lot but still don't see improvements. It's all due to our tendency of gaining, seeking, and fearing. And we keep fall into the old path because of all those habits. Our patriarch and always remind us to believe in the original mind and practice. Don't think that you're too busy or stuck with this or that and not able to practice. All of those obstacles are generated from our attaching mind. Once we get awakened, all of those busyness
thì nếu chúng ta có cái
being stuck will fall
hiểu
apart
để
if we believe in
thực hành
the original mind
đơn giản và dễ dàng.
completely. We will
Thì cái thực hành
practice
đối
easily.
với người hành giả tham thiền, cho dù là tinh từ tâm sâu dày, cho dù là sơ cơ chưa có một chút xíu niềm tin tinh tấn,
Whether you are a
nhưng mà
beginner
chúng ta có duyên với cái sự
and
thực
have
hành, cái thực hành
not much belief in the
thì
original
có thể
mind,
thậm
but
chí
if
có được
you
gần với
keep
cái hồn của mình,
practicing and
quen dần với hồn của
learning,
mình, nếu mà
you
thực
will
hành với
gradually
niềm tin tinh tấn.
become familiar
Cho nên nếu mà hành
with
giả
the practice
cho dù chúng ta
and the belief
hiểu
in
thì
the
hiểu,
original mind.
có cái sự phân biệt hiểu biết ấy, rõ biết đó, thì mình hiểu nắm bắt đó, nhưng mà tại sao
Even though you understand the
cái
teaching,
sự
how come you
sai
still
là
not
cái
able
hành
to
có sự
practice?
cầu, mình là cái muốn
Because
có sự đắc,
when you
cho
practice,
nên cái sự
you
đó là cái sự thực hành, cho nên
want to gain and seek something,
hiệu quả, muốn sự thành công,
and
tiến
once
bộ.
and then you start fearing when you don't see improvements
Thì tùy
or
theo
achievement,
bất kỳ thấy một cái gì, cảm giác cái gì, thọ cái gì,
or are due to our
thì trở
habits.
về để thọ đầu cái nghi tình,
Our patriot
cắt
said,
đứt liền cái
doesn't matter what you
cái dòng
see
cái niệm
or
giác,
feel,
từ tâm,
return to ask the question,
tức là
raise the
lìa
doubt.
cái sở, lìa cái sự phân biệt, lìa cái sự chấp trước. Tức là trở về cái nghi, để thọ đầu và khởi cái nghi.
No need to
Tại sao
put
lại trở
in
về
your
cái nghi?
intention,
Nghi
just move away from
thì
the
với cái nghi
object,
là
meaning
với cái nghĩa của nghi là
to return to the doubt.
đi đến chỗ chân nghi, chứ không phải ôm cái hồ nghi.
The doubt here means
Chúng ta
you
sẽ
raise the right doubt, eventually lead
lại
to the
công chúng
true
có
doubt.
những cái thắc mắc gì
It's
đó,
different from the
có
suspicion.
cái
Gradually, you will be able to see it.
trên công phu của mình
So,
chúng ta
right now, anyone have
bày ra
any
một
questions
chút
or want to share your experience? You can bring it up. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.
có thanh mai.
Dạ, con kính chào thầy, con kính chào đại chúng.
Dear
Dạ,
Thầy, dear
con
everyone,
hỏi cái chỗ này nè thầy, là lục tổ cũng nói là mình tu là mình trở về cái tự tánh của mình,
the sick patriarch
mình
said, we practice
khi
to
mà mình
return
tu thì
to
mình giác
our
cái gọi
original
là
mind.
giác tánh, thì
And when we awaken, it's called
thật sự nó không có đi lời
seeing
về
the
chốn nào hết.
original nature.
Nhưng mà con thấy trong
There is
kinh
no
nhà
place
đó
to go
nói
to,
là
but
cái mười
in
nguyên ức cõi
the
Phật
Amitabha Sutra,
mười nguyên ức cõi nơi
it
A Nan
is
và
said
thế giới
that
Phật, có thế giới
for
và cực lạc.
countless time
Chỗ này con hơi không
before,
hiểu là
there
tại
is a
sao
realm called
mình chỉ trở về cái tự tánh của
ultimate
mình thôi,
bliss.
chứ nó đâu có đi tới một cái
I don't
nơi nào
understand
đó thầy.
why we only
Thì
return
tại
to
cái chỗ đó nó
our
vậy.
original
Thì
nature
giống như là họ nói
and
là
not
tu
having
tập
any
niệm Phật thì
destination to
rõ
go
là như
to.
vậy. Cõi Tây phương cực lạc
Why they
thì
said we
về một cái cõi nơi nào
recite the
khác nào,
Buddha
mình
name
trở về giác
to
tánh mình thì đâu có một
return to go
destination
to
nào.
the
Dạ con cảm ơn thầy chỉ
pure
cho cái chỗ
land.
đó.
So I'm confused about
Ở trong pháp Bà Đàn
that
kinh
thing.
lục tổ cũng có nói giảng cho tịnh độ.
In the Platform
Nói
Sutra, the
10
sick
muôn
patriarch also
8.000 na do tha, tức là mỗi
speak to
một
the
trăm
Pure
na
Land
do tha khác nhau.
practitioner
Đến thần thông của La Hán cũng bay đến đó được.
like many
Tức là phải có cái duyên
years ago to the point
của
it's
một
far,
người tu
far away
với nhiều lực
to the point where the arhats cannot even reach
đầy
that
đủ rồi, nó tới tơi.
place.
Nhưng mà nói
Only when the
cái đó phải
person who have
8.000 na do
their
tha.
vow
Cái
that
thế giới
is aligned with
tu
the Amitabha
vượt
Buddha,
qua
then
thập
they
ác
can go
tám
to that
tà,
place.
là nếu mà quét sạch được cái thập ác tám tà, thập ác từ cái chỗ thân nghiệp, khẩu nghiệp, ý nghiệp á, tất cả cái đó thì nó đều là do tâm mình, đâu có ngoài tâm đâu.
Everything
Cho nên
is
Đức Phật cũng nói nhất thiết diệt tâm.
from our mind, not beyond our mind.
Tâm tạo thì nó đâu có thật
The
đâu.
Buddha said Everything is created by the mind, and because of that, they are not real. Even this Saha world, it is created by the mind.
Từng vật, từng cái, từng thứ một á, đều là do tâm biến hiện, giống như cái thế giới chim bao.
Each of the things we are able to recognize are created by the mind. Even when you sleep on your bed, your consciousness creates another world in dream that has everything. But once you awake, you cannot find that dream world or the body in the dream. Only the body on the bed still there. So the dream is not real. It was generated by one type of consciousness. So the closed eye dream, once you sleep enough, you will awake.
Tại sao nó lại chấp thật? Nhưng trong chim bao bị người ta khủng bố cũng sợ giật mình dậy tim còn đập mạnh mà.
Even though we say it's a dream, people still consider it as real. That's why when they sleep and they see that they are chased after by bad people, they wake up having heart palpitation. Or if you dream of winning lottery, you feel very excited. So in the dream, we can feel everything, but once we awake, then that body is no longer there, and all feelings disappear. So in the dream, you always attach to things as real, but once you awake, everything ends. But this open eye dream, it never ends. Even if we die, it still continues. And when the body reincarnated in 6 realms, it still continue. Therefore, the Buddha said, if it's created by the deluded mind, it's not real. Same thing once you awaken from this open eye dream, where can you find what you see in there? Even this body is not real. The 5 skandhas is not real. Only when you get enlightened, then you will truly know. Now, if we speak about it while we still deluded, there is no way we'll be able to understand. Once you awaken, this Saha world doesn't even exist, then where is the Pure Land? So that's what the sixth patriarch said. If I bring the Pure Land in front of you, you still not be able to see it. If the mind is pure, then the road will become pure because of the power of the mind. Right there, that realm can be pure land or heaven or hell. Like there's no time or place where we have to arrive to. The mind everywhere. There's no time beyond time, no space beyond space. So, Patriot Zen, we have to see the original nature. Awaken from this dream, then there's no place to go, no place to come. And we gain the no birth fruit also mean nirvana, no birth, no death, no come, no go.
hiện tiền, tự tánh hiện tiền, chứ không phải giờ mình nghĩ vậy. Trước mắt mình đây
And that's when the
mình hiện tiền,
original nature
đủ thứ, còn bên
show up.
cái hiện tiền tự tâm mà nó không còn có cái quá khứ tương lai, coi như quá khứ bất khả đắc, hiện tại bất khả đắc, vị lai bất khả đắc, tức là hiện ra trước mặt đó, nó không có thời gian, không gian, số lượng. Đấy, con nghe hiểu không?
Dạ con hiểu rồi thầy, dạ con cảm ơn thầy.
You understand? I do. Thank you, thầy.
Mời Thanh.
Dạ thưa thầy, có con.
Đúng rồi.
Dạ, sorry thầy. Tại con đang lái xe trên đường về lại Đà Lạt.
Sorry, thầy. I'm driving on my way back to Dallas, so the sound it's not clear. Dear thầy, dear everyone.
Hình như là cái công phu mỗi ngày con thầy nó cứ con còn thấy nó khác là chắc là hôm qua thầy thấy
I feel my practice is different every day. Like yesterday, I feel like my practice is very good. Once I sleep and wake up, I feel like I restart everything. Restarting is normal. And I just told myself to not paying attention to it. And I just heard you talk about nothing to gain, nothing to seek, nothing to fear. I come to a realization of what it is about. And I think my practice, I just need to leave it lightly for it to immerse into my daily life. Still observing my mind. If I see that it's in turbulence, then I will bring it back to normal. That's something I just want to share. If you read the scripture and you understand what the Buddha and the patriarch are talking about, thanks that if you can even understand the deep meaning from those scripture, that's even better. Thanks to the practice, we are able to see our sickness. Just like when the eye see the floaters, it's not about the floaters, it's about the eye that is sick. And we just need to go see the doctor to cure the eyes instead of trying to clean up the floaters.
Ý của Phật qua cái phương tiện, qua cái lời nói chư tổ cũng vậy.
And when we practice and increase in the belief in the mind, we will have more belief in the teachings of the wise teachers. And from there, the belief even increase further. And we will be able to see things in life more clearly. We don't give up on our responsibilities. We still fulfill our responsibilities, but we don't put down our practice. And because we don't have anything to gain, to seek, or to fear, we won't have any suffering or afflictions. Like the meaning of raise the body mind, until when we complete the body mind, meaning gaining nothing. Everyone around us have their own conditions. We plan the seed of Buddhism. It's a way to create the conditions for them, but whether they can be influenced by us, we cannot force it. Let it be natural. Return to the practice, and one day when the conditions are complete, and when we keep observing the heart whole, one day when the conditions are complete and we are able to break free from all of the ignorance, then our practice will be, will lead to the final route. So continue to practice. Even though our habits are a lot, we know that it's our habits and we return to the practice. We still have the perceptions and feelings, but we are not controlled by those perception or feelings. Thank you, Thầy. When you talk about feelings, perceptions, or discrimination, I also observe my own feelings and perception. I notice that there's something that cover that block that feelings or perception and not letting me immerse into those feelings or perception. I feel like there is something that block those feelings and perception from arising. If I try to force those feelings or perception to arise, it can come up. But I feel like normally I can see that there's something that block all of those feelings and perception from arising. To be honest, I don't know if I have the doubt or not. I just continue to practice. I feel like in the past, I still remember those scriptures. But now I feel like those memories, those remembering is less. Even though I still understand everything you speak, but I don't carry the memories as much. So all the perceptions or feelings or no perceptions and feelings, they are still in duality, this and discrimination, subject and object. Whether you proactively raise the thought or inactively raise the thoughts, because we still in duality and subject and object, they are still there. But it doesn't really affect us. Like you don't see happiness as so happy. You don't see sadness as so sad. Everything seems to be in the middle. And you are able to discriminate and know everything. That means it's still the form of a sickness. So return to the practice. Don't assume that is a good state and attach to that state. If you speak like that, it means your Tao is still not uninterrupted yet. So continue to practice. Don't let that habits control you. So when your practice and doubt interrupt, just return to the practice, because you still have the thought of knowing. The Buddha said the knowing is the door of disasters. Whether you know it's good or bad, or no good nor bad, it's still falling into the knowing. So you have to return to the practice. Luckily, you know the practice and you know that the doubt is not an object to gain or seek. It's a tool that sweeps away all subject and object. So return to the practice so that your belief in the original mind becomes stronger and your practice can prolong. I understand Thai. Recently, these past few weeks, I make judgment on my mind. I know that I don't get tied to those feelings, but sometimes I fall into the state of feeling nothing, and sometimes I even raise the thought of, "Oh, I'm good enough. I don't need Thai anymore." But once I raise that thought, I try to tell myself that it's not right. I still need to rely on Thai. And I know that I fall into attachment and I should seek out your help. Thank you, Thai. Try your best to practice.
Dạ, mô Phật, kính chào thầy, quý sư cô, thiền đường đại chúng. Dạ.
Dear Thai, dear everyone.
Con thì có nhớ đến một cái đoạn những bệnh nhân hay là mình bị gây mê ấy, thầy.
I think of those patients or me who get the anesthetic. Once that injected to us, we completely not know anything. Even when they cut our body open, we still not aware anything. So the six senses, even when there is a chemical injected to us, then everything become quiet, not knowing anything. So I have a question. In that state where we get injected the anesthesia, whether the 7 and 8 consciousness can affect any of other consciousness. Because when that happened, the surgeon cut open myself and I know nothing. So I don't know if once I awake, then all the consciousness become connected and I'm aware again.
Cái thức thứ 6, thức thứ 7 á, tất cả nó tác nhân từ ở đó. Thức thứ 8 thì nó là cái tàn thức.
The 6 and the 7 consciousness are the one that create everything. The 8 consciousness is just a storage. When we encounter the conditions, then the seeds from the storage come out to the other consciousness and we start making action. And the 5 like there's a verse that talk about those 8 consciousness. In the 8 consciousness, in 8 brothers, there's one that is ignorant. That is the 7 consciousness. And then there's a brother that is very smart, sharp, and quick, clever. That is the 6 consciousness. The other 5 sense consciousness, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. They are just like the five enemies that guard the door and doing the import and export at the door. And a person inside the house, that is the owner. That is the eight consciousness or the storage, the one that bring in and out the seeds. Because that storage doesn't matter what the seeds are, good or bad, or no good, no bad, it still bring it in and bring it out once the conditions are right. The sixth patriarch said, from the first five consciousness and the eight consciousness are based on the fruit that is transformed by the fruit, but the real cause, the real one that caused all of the karma, is the sixth and the seventh consciousness. When they are deluded, then all others become deluded. But when those six and seven consciousness awaken, then all other consciousness also awake. So the first five consciousness and the eight consciousness are just being transformed as the effect, but the cause is the sixth and the seventh consciousness, which we have to be the one who transform those. So speaking about scientific aspect, when they use the anesthesia to get us sleep, get us into a lethargy. It's just a way to trick those consciousness. They know which one to fool. They don't fool all of the consciousness, like your eye, your ear actually still awake, but they don't feel anything clearly. But the feeling and the perception aspect of that, those consciousness all become stagnant. Like when someone into gambling, even if all of their body feels so tired, they still don't feel any tiredness because they are so focused on gambling. But once they are done, then they will feel the fatigue. So it's a way to prove that we still in ignorance and attachment. It's not like the anesthesia end those. So when we have this human body, it's a easy way to practice liberation. If we don't have such body, it's very difficult to practice. Like some of the God or some of the or the people in the no form realm. Sometimes they rely on the human realm to practice. Just like some the monster king or the heaven king, sometimes they have to rely on the human realm to practice because they have too many blessings. So it becomes very difficult for them to practice. It's not like they can practice, they still practice, but very difficult to practice. Just like even here, you know, for like a rich person, they cannot, it's harder for them to tolerate any hardship. So even for them, it become a little bit more difficult to practice compared to a normal person. When we awake, it's very difficult. It's already difficult to practice because of all our illusions, let alone when we sleep or when we get on anesthesia. You know, we cannot even control ourselves. Harder to even practice. It might be good temporarily for a procedure, but later on it can leave side effects. I understand, Thầy. I understand that the consciousness are very powerful. It can control us even when we awake or sleep, that we easily get dragged away. Without the teaching of you and the Buddha and the Patriarch, we won't know where to go. Thank you, Thầy. The time is up. Goodbye, everyone. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.